She likes Shakespeare, and that prosecutor is the best thing since sliced bread.
Okay.
And
So, Jason, I gave you my card.
yes, I got your
If
card.
you hear from Vanderhook, if you could give me a call.
Do you want?
If you want. I'm just saying, if you get it.
Well, what are you gonna do here? What are you
I'm not certain. I'm going to go back and talk to Matt, and then I'll just go from there. I'm not certain. I'll have to talk to my editors, and we'll see where we go from there.
Okay, because I'd like you, because of the instance with me and Jaclyn right now being in the process of being in the courts, if you cannot mention that, between me and Jaclyn, like he knows about the outbursts, because he was there. He actually, I don't know if he knows about the second outburst, because he might not have been there. He knows about the first outburst, but I might take his wife to court. I don't want them to find out that. I'm telling you that in the strictest confidence. I ask you not to share that part at all.
And it's awkward when you ask me not to print things after you've already told me. I mean, if you'd said that
like
at the outset, that just puts me in a difficult position, right? So, because I did come here, I told you who I was, and I was wondering what your concerns were. So,
But you didn't mention that you would be printing what I said to you. You just.
I'm a reporter.
But that doesn't. I know. Maybe.
And I don't know what I'll be printing. I
That's
don't know
not
what I'll
true,
be
yeah.
printing, to be honest, right?
Yes.
Because I gather lots of information,
Well,
and I only have so much space.
If you're going to talk to them now, I ask you not to share it right now.
Fair enough.
Because it might be in the process, and I don't want to.
I haven't shared anything with you that they told me.
You didn't. No, you didn't. Not at all.
So
that's
then
respectful.
I'll respect that. I
Okay,
won't
thank
tell
you.
them what that, right?
Thank
And
you.
if-
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can go back and work with you.
Yeah, so that's all I'm saying. If you want to talk to me further, you've got my number. It's there, right? Or my email address as well. Could I get a number for you or an email address? If I wanted to check if there's something were to happen that I wanted
I
to
guess
get.
I'll give you my phone number, so that then you can contact me.
I can text you if you prefer that, or just call you.
Oh, you
It's
got
up to
text? Okay, yeah. I'll give you my phone. What they're doing could constitute mischief.
Well,
in a
you
vague
know,
sense.
with a lot of infill these days, houses are being built like right up against the property line.
Yeah, it's different now. I haven't. I'll tell you now. I
I
haven't.
mean,
looked
this
at-
is a rental house. Someone could buy it, knock it down, and build it right up against
Oh,
the property
they
line.
could, yeah.
Yeah.
They could, yeah. So that too. I don't know. A lot
People
about
don't
the
like
code.
it, and I understand
Yeah.
why you wouldn't like an
Yeah.
infill right beside you and stuff like that. No, like I don't know if you read the Free Press, but I've written a lot of stories about people complaining about the infill and the new houses being
Oh,
so
have you?
close to the property. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I haven't even looked into the code at all. Really, I've just been relying on Italian property development to do it for me.
Yeah.
So I haven't read the code. I've been reading laws and stuff. So, but yeah, I know there is. I've seen houses being built close. I can understand that too. So I don't know. I've been relying on Vanderhook and all these guys. Like there's been about 15 people that are involved to know about the deck instancilo in planning property development. Vanderhook wants me to keep it quiet. He's saying Jason, he's even acknowledged the stress that this is put on myself and my mom. So I got all the emails at Vanderhook too, which I actually made a report that all the reports I sent, I want all my emails at Vanderhook, but that was 22 pages. That doesn't even cite any of the charters in the
Yeah.
city of Winnipeg. That's just my story.
Okay, so Jason, I
Yeah, sure.
want to get back before it rains because I walked.
Oh, you walked here?
Yeah. I have an office at City Hall.
Oh, nice.
So I just-
good for you. So you're right in
So,
there then. You're
Like I said, I cover City Hall, and my
Okay.
office is in the basement.
Okay.
And it's a 20-minute walk, but I have to check with Matt before I leave, and I don't want to get caught in the rain. So thank you very much for talking to me.
Yeah,
And again, you've got my card if there's
Yes.
anything.
And then the peace bond mention is between us for now.
Yeah.
Okay. Like later on, if it comes out, I also don't really want my name. I don't. Cause you know what? People. Oh,
You're the neighbor. You're the one that caused the problem, so I can't leave your name out.
Aldo, here's the thing though. When I made the report on June 3rd to planning property development, sent them my whole report and my complaints basically, and I named a number of people in that report. They came back. I don't own the house. I'm a tenant here.
Your mother. Your
Yeah,
mother
she
was
owns the
right.
house. Yeah. So anyways, planning property and development, bylaw enforcement both came back and sent my mom a violation notice on her shed. Shortly after I sent them the report. Okay, so I am scared. I'm literally late now. And the end of my letter for Vanderhook that I was going to send them, which is going to maybe go to Malays, I mentioned to them I'm in fear of more retaliation. Of course, I put it in. I'm concerned in regards to what has happened in regards to the shed type of thing. But basically, I told them I'm in fear.
Was your
now.
shed too big?
My shed's exactly spot on. But get this, Aldo. In the June 3rd report, I made 2 new reports in regards to debris in the deck. They deleted the deck report, that reference number can be found nowhere now. I called City, the 311, they said, we don't know that number, it's not here. Meanwhile, they sent me an email, did it to me. The debris report, the 2 bylaw officers came by. One of them was one of the ones I mentioned in the report. I had a concern with this bylaw officer, which I mentioned in the report. She came by with her supervisor. I spoke to her supervisor that day. Me and him did have a very nice conversation. They came into the neighboring yard to look at Mr. Reeves' property again. They did, I think, give Mr. Reeves some notices because he cleaned up shortly after that. He cleaned up a number of things in his yard. And while they were there, I observed the bylaw officer and her supervisor looking at my shed and my mom's property, my mom's shed, and taking pictures of my mom's shed. And then it was that day or the next day, Mr. Vanderhook, the next day I got a violation notice. She got the violation notice saying the shed has these proper siding around it, because it only had a tie back wrap around it. It's been like that for about a year and a half, 2 years.
Is that right?
12 by 9 by 12. What was it again? 9 by 12, I think, is the biggest it can be. There's a set limit, which it is.
There's a set limit. Yeah.
Which it is, and it's within the height restrictions too, which I think is 13 feet. So like it's fine now, but the thing was that they gave the violation notice. I had to deal with those people again, right? And that's also what was mentioned in my report now.
Yeah, it's the city building inspectors. They go on fishing expeditions.
This is.
Sorry about that.
That's okay, thank you, Aldo. I recorded the bulk of all that too. I've documented everything. I've learned to document everything because my mom's always had an asshole. And essentially, what I'm trying to do out here, Aldo, is I'm trying to protect my mom. Okay, because she suffers from depression. Like, this also involves mental health issues. I made 2 calls in November to 2 supervisors in the planning property development. I left them 2 messages which I recorded stating that this has become a concern, a health concern, a mental health concern, because this is ongoing. And that was from July last year to November that year. So like 5-6 months went by, or 4 months went by, and nothing was being done about the deck, the debris, and everything else, right? So I said, hey man, what's going on here? And I saved the messages. They didn't respond, right? And then actually the second one I called, he had a lady respond to me, which recalled to my concern as a spiel. It's a spiel. No, what am I trying to get here? I don't want nothing. I'm trying to let you know what's going on, right? And so that didn't go off well, but that lady did admit to me, which I recorded the whole conversation at first, I guess you already know all that before, that she says to me that, well, sometimes in planning property and development, if one person can't handle the case, other people take it over. And sometimes we just keep going through the line until someone finally gets it resolved. And I'm thinking, okay. And then that's when she tells me, there's been several people that have been involved in this case now. And she starts saying, like, there's a Cheryl and then a Shelley and somebody else. And she starts mentioning these names, right? And I'm thinking, okay. And then I see in the paper this year how, for the longest time, planning property and development has been going for coffee and shopping and ignoring calls and doing everything.
Different department. It was a different area of, because people that do home inspections, they work in like 20-minute blocks. Those people that were doing the coffee breaks, they were the commercial inspectors.
Oh, okay.
So it's different. It was like a totally different crew, right?
I didn't know that. Okay, so there's a commercial and a
residential side, yeah. And so the people on residential side, they sort of work in 20-minute blocks. They get 20 minutes and then they go to the next one. So whereas the guys in commercial are more flexible and they sort of wait. If a developer calls them or a builder calls them, then they go. So that's how that abuse was able to exist, because there was no regular scheduled work for them. They just did it whenever they could get a hold of a builder, and they would just go. So they would go to a strip mall or a warehouse or whatever. But those people were not inspecting houses. Okay. But listen, I gotta go. That was my editor. So
yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So like I said, if there's any new developments, you can call me, and if I need to follow up on anything, I will get hold of you. You give me your number.
Yeah.
Okay.
So everything right now is between us, just like you're keeping everything with him between.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everything you told me, I will not tell him.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm not asking what your conversation. I don't care. That's between you guys, because I know the truth and I have the truth now. So.
Yeah. Okay. And like you said, you recorded what
I recorded with us and everything.
Yeah.
And I do ask it for you not to publish anything I said to you. And I don't know the law on that, but obviously you do, because you are a reporter, so you'll know more about it than I do. So I'm just saying that as a clause, in case they say to me, like, well, why did you tell Aldo that? Well, I just told Aldo that. Don't publish nothing. So, for the record. Just, I don't know how it works.
But again, I'm just going to tell you.
You're a reporter.
No, but you didn't ask me to report until after we started calling, right?
Yeah.
And again, I don't know what I'll be reporting.
That's true. Yes.
And
yes.
then you didn't want me to go into a lot of the details on your dispute with PPD, and as far as I know, you didn't tell me any of the inner workings of the PP&Ds. So
Okay.
I'm concentrating on
this,
the
yes,
deck,
yes,
right?
yeah. But you said to you, like I said, I think to him. So basically,
What
I'm
you
concerned
told me,
about
I will
Matt.
not tell him.
Yeah, no, but if there's a story here for you, then yeah, I can see how you'd like to use some of that information. 'Cause that does like, you know, one neighbor says this, the other neighbor says that.
I owe it to you to come and talk to you. All right, I just can't write a story based on what Matt
Two
says.
sides of the story. That's right.
Okay.
That's right. And that's what I told his workers too when his workers, they didn't want to deal with what was going on. Because my concerns, we have a joint tree in the back, lilac tree, and we were concerned about how they're building the fence because we didn't want them to take property from us. Which this guy actually at the front here has taken property, so once bitten, twice shy, right? He moved his fence over about a good 4 inches to our side. This one right here. Yeah, so it was actually further off on his side, and he bought this fence. Oh. And this also extends to a deal that my mom and Matt originally made a verbal agreement that Matt was going to tear down our back fence, which was still in good shape, to put up his new back fence, which we agreed to because Matt said it'll be your fence. I'll build it for you. We'll build it on your property. Once he tore down our fence, he said, "Oh, Jason, I'm going to put up the fence on my property. Don't worry about it." So he put it on his property. Now we got no fence in the back. Our fence is gone. I got pictures of the fence. Like, essentially, we're sharing his fence now, but our own fence is gone.